I honor everything about you. I honor your pain. I honor your past. I honor your losses. I honor your hopes. I honor your dreams. I honor your worries. I honor your fears. I honor your memories. I honor your thoughts. I honor your desires. And I honor your circumstances. And in the name of continuing the love revolution as a worldwide global movement, to ushering in a brand new spiritual paradigm of heart-centered consciousness. And what makes this so revolutionary is that it doesn't even matter if it's, like, we don't have to focus on it not being me-centered consciousness. Because the strange thing is when you're trying to not make it a me-centered consciousness, it's a different me-centered consciousness. It's a me-centered consciousness trying not to be me-centered consciousness, which is what we call inferiority. And it's one of the most rampant diseases in the spiritual community. So heart-centered consciousness. And in this love revolution of heart-centered consciousness, I begin by honoring everything about you. That through this transmission I offer can transform and liberate all of those things in you as you agree to not push these things away, but change your relationship with the things that you can't seem to avoid, discard, overcome, or reconcile. If there are things in your life you cannot shake, it is because they are catalysts of your highest evolution, here to assist you in your highest growth and transformation when you learn how they're helping you. Divinely appointed catalysts that you misunderstand as adversity cannot be pushed out of your life when they have been commissioned by the divine to ensure your growth. So let me be a translator to help you understand what may have not been taught to you. Because we did not come into this planet with an owner's manual. Our life is that owner's manual. And in this love revolution of heart-centered consciousness, I would ask you to join me in doing one thing initially, two things initially. Of course, the first being to join me in loving you the way no one else has dared to love you. That's the first thing. And the second thing is I begin by honoring everything about you. And what I ask is, as of this moment forward, nothing in your life is insulted by being referred to as a story. Everything in your life has value, and every single thing is an important milestone in the most miraculous journey that the divine has ever concocted, just for the joy of dancing as you inform. An infinite reality, which is you, thought, I'd like to incarnate and experience my infinite potential, but in a way I've never done it before. And what is it that exhausted and satisfied the imagination of an infinite source of intelligence? It sat and imagined, who can I be that I've never become? And you are who satisfied its craving for life. All life wants to be is you. And so it is my honor to provide you the invitation to come alive and to live as the divine already does in you. As I say, and as I've said before, the litmus test of spiritual insight is what we would say to a child in pain. And if you wouldn't say it to a child in pain, please don't say it to yourself. If a child were in pain, just wanting to be held while it is in pain, you wouldn't say, "Drop your story, honey." Don't you think that's just a story? If you wouldn't say it to a child and you laugh because you wouldn't do that, don't say it to yourself. Treat yourself like a child in a positive way. If a child was really bummed out because someone took the tricycle that it wanted at school, you wouldn't say to the child, "You know, honey, you should really let that go. It's not going to go over well, is it?" So if that's not going to go over well with the child, what are the odds it's going to work for you? Instead, I want to give you a revolutionary approach. And it's a simple approach. Everything is here to help you. And do you know why we don't perceive things that everything is here to help us? Because we don't know that everything is here to help us. And the reason we don't is because we grow up in a conditioned level of consciousness that says things don't help me if they are inconvenient or unexpected. But see, that's how we grow and evolve, is by encountering inconvenience and unexpected things. How else is the universe going to whirl cellular memories out of your body than by having someone knock into you in a store? Take too long pulling out of a parking spot. Everything is here to help you. And in taking in this insight, everything is here to help you. Because again, you can contemplate with your consciousness in endless directions. And you can ask a question till the end of time, but if your question or if your point of view is heading you in a direction of fear or circumstance, you're going to go off in an endless inquiry that's not going to amount to anything. In a heart-centered spiritual path, what is the greatest contemplation? The greatest contemplation is framing a question that guarantees success. A question that guarantees success is rooted in faith. So what would that be? The question is, whatever arises, the question you ask yourself is, how is this helping me? That's a good question. How is this helping me evolve and be better than I've ever been? Oh, but this is just making me frustrated. Well, maybe this is how frustrated is healed. Maybe how I heal frustration is just by whirling out of my nervous system by encountering it many, many times. Oh, but I was taught that I'm not supposed to be frustrated. I'm supposed to transcend that. Well, that's a misunderstanding. Because if the point is to not be frustrated, it's obvious this world didn't get that memo, right? One of the healthiest things you'll do is look around the world and go, I don't know if it's against the rules to be frustrated. Because I look around the world and it seems like there are a lot of people who have that right. You know who don't have the right to be frustrated? Spiritual beings. I thought we signed up to be liberated. But we don't have as many rights as most people. Oh no, I can't do that. I can't be frustrated. No, I have to shut down and hurt myself emotionally. No, I can't be frustrated. Why not? Why not? Why can't you be frustrated? You know why I don't get frustrated? Because I have every right to be. And it just doesn't arise. I'm not trying not to be frustrated. I'm not sitting here going, oh, I almost got frustrated. Good thing I'm so talented. Ooh, they almost got me without frustration. Nope, not me. No, I'm a champion. Saw it coming, quickly got onto it, ignored myself for a few minutes, went away. I'm so clever. If you want to understand the real expression of spiritual liberation, you must have the rights that everyone else in the world has. You have a right to be frustrated. You have a right to be angry. You have a right to be sad. You have a right to be confused. But a lot of times in the spiritual path, we're not giving ourselves the chance to have these experiences. We're trying to see them as symptoms of what we have to solve, right? They're symptoms we have to clear, apparently. But if you're trying to clear these things out of your life, how are you going to contemplate whether or not something's here to help you? Everything is here to help you. Frustration is here to help you. What does frustration teach you? Frustration teaches you that when you're frustrated, you're not giving yourself as many options as are available to you. That's what frustration means. Oh, my frustration is reminding me that I'm not giving myself as many options as are available. So there are many more options available. They're probably going to be really inconvenient to my ego. But nonetheless, if I gave myself more inconvenient options, I wouldn't be frustrated because I'd have more things to choose from. And then frustration goes away because as an agent of the divine, it goes, oh, you are aware of the insight I sent you. Everything's here to help you. How can everything not be here to help you? You think the divine sent you down in this multidimensional Pac-Man machine for things to chase you around? I mean, where the hell do we think we are? Are we in some sort of Scooby-Doo funhouse? The divine brought you to be in form as a gift, and oh, there are things going to chase you around. Where do we think we are? This is a gift. Everything's here to help you evolve. And if you step into every moment and say, look, I may not like how I feel, but everything's here to help me. Do you know what you cultivate inside of your being? Faith. Faith. Faith is the natural state of the universe. The mantra of the universe that depicts faith is everything works out. Everything always works out. That's the mantra. Everything always works out. But we as intuitive beings know it's going to work out, but we don't know how it's going to work out because that's what we came to live out. And we are wanting resolution that happens at a future chapter during a chapter it's not meant to arrive. And then we pretend that that means it might not work out, so we have to run around and try to figure it out, even though everything always works out. Do you see? Matt, what am I going to do right now? Well, it's going to work out. But how? You want the best answer? In spite of all of us. In spite of all of us, it's going to work out. And it's not without your choice and permission and participation, but it does not require the exhaustion of your personal volition. So you're participating in this, but you don't have to try so hard. Because you're coming from a place of, I don't think it's going to work out. And I'm not even saying if you come from a place like it's not going to work out, then that's going to cause it to not work out. Like, that's not how the universe works. Like, you didn't think it's going to work out, so, oh well. You entered a parallel dimension and everything was just crappy. Because you didn't believe. Here's the thing. Your highest destiny is going to unfold whether you believe it or not. You could deny your highest destiny every breath until the end of time and you're still going to get all of the treats that are coming for you. You're just going to have the worst experience of it. Like, literally, your doorbell will ring one day and there will be $1 billion check handed to you by the baby Jesus. And even then you'd be like, I don't know if I could trust this. It's going to work out. So if, right, well, again, it's one thing to get $1 million check, but from the baby Jesus, Right? Right? That's impressive. Wow, the baby Jesus. Wow. Baby Jesus giving me $1 billion check. Generous already, that baby Jesus. Wow. Wow. So giving. It's all going to work out. Your relationships are going to work out, whether that means you go into a new one and find harmony, or you grow with the person you're with and find equanimity. Your emotional healing, the ascension or awakening of your energetic field is going to work out. Your path of realization is going to work out. Your highest destiny is going to work out. Everything is going to work out. It's just not going to work out at the moment you want it to. Why? Because if it all worked out the way you wanted to, you wouldn't become aware of this life is a video game that is here to teach you how to cultivate faith. And you're being put in a situation where it looks like things won't work out, just for you to dare to choose to believe that it will work out, and welcome to the thrill ride of the universe. It's a roller coaster called everything always works out. Through the eyes of the universe, every single thing that happens in your life is how it was all meant to work out. So when your life is flipped upside down, someone goes, "What's going on with your life?" This is how it's working out. This is what my life looks like being worked out. It's certainly, if you're going to renovate a house, and you tell your friend, "I'm going to have this amazing fireplace and this master suite," and you tell your friend about this house, and they comes to your home, and he just sees like a construction crew. "I thought you told me about your beautiful, lavish house." Yes, this is what it looks like working out. We're still in the before phase of the renovation. We will soon be in the after. On TV, it takes a half hour, but in real life, it's like 6 months of torture. Right? So in the same way, you are living through your spiritual renovation. And how your life is right now is how it's working out. It's becoming the best case scenario, but you have not been trained to open up to that view, because you've told yourself, until I see the best case scenario, I'm just going to assume that it's the worst case scenario. I don't know why things are the way they are, so I'm just going to blame myself for why it is the way only I judge it to be, and then I'm going to put myself under a microscope, and I'm going to try to improve myself and think that that's going to make things change. That sound familiar? It's like, let's say you have from now until 5 months from now before everything totally becomes amazing, and you are free to do whatever you want with your time. And you say, what I'm going to do is I'm going to put myself under a microscope, and I'm going to say that the flaws that I judge, that I see, are the reasons why things aren't working out right now. And then I'm going to try to perfect and purify those things, and I'm not going to stop until it works out. And then when it does work out, I'm going to tell myself that everything I've done was the reason why it now has worked out. So through the eyes of faith, you can spend from now until whenever it works out doing whatever the hell you want to do. And if you think working on yourself is going to make any damn bit of difference, the only thing that's going to make a difference is if instead of working on yourself, you love yourself. Because then you start to enjoy the feeling of life working out before it has to physically show you how it's going to work out. Does that make sense? So faith is, I'm going to enjoy the party before the party begins. That's what this is all about. I'm going to walk around my scaffolding and enjoy my lavish house before it actually gets built. Everything always works out. Always. And when you don't know how it's going to work out, that means it's better than bigger than you can ever imagine. Things are only torn down in your life to build something bigger. Ever seen that in life? You go drive through your neighborhood or whatever. Oh, your favorite restaurant's no longer in business because a better one's coming. Hopefully. Hopefully. Sometimes, oh my God, my favorite restaurant is out of business. What's going to be next? Starbucks. Everything always works out. The natural state of the universe is faith, and the mantra of faith is everything always works out. And when you're not sure, the question becomes, how is everything here to help me? How is this here to help me? And again, in a heart-centered journey, what we understand is what you're feeling emotionally are the cellular memories being released out of your field. What you're feeling, you're healing. And this idea, like, I can't feel negative emotions because then I'm going to manifest more atrocity. It's just not true. But you're free to tell yourself that for as much time as you have before life shows you how it's going to work out. I mean, here's what's funny about children. Children walk around thinking there's monsters under their bed and can sit in their room, like you could, take away a toy from a child and it will sit in his room and plot against you for a long time and get twisted up in a negative, contracted state for a lengthy period of time, right? Just the child goes in the room and just sits there and silently hates you, right? No child who has dedicated a portion of their life to pure, unadulterated hatred, or who has believed there's a monster in their closet to the point where they create sweating in their body and their heart is palpitating. We have never had monsters jumping out of closets. We've never had a monster epidemic in suburban America. You have never, a child goes to the room and is just in that hateful state. I hate you, you took my toy away. And then the house bursts into flames. Kids are allowed to feel whatever they want. But we're not. Why not? Here's a funny thing, as you are stepping into the joy of life always works out, if you have permission to feel any which way and think any which way about anyone or anything, do you want to know what never shows up? The very thing you don't want to feel or think about. When you have the right to think and feel any which way about anyone and not even apologize. First of all, you could have the loudest thought in your mind and no one next to you plugs their ears. That means only you are hearing you. And then once you say the thing you're embarrassed about, then you apologize. Oh, I'm so sorry. Oh my God. Who are you talking to? You're allowed. You're allowed to be frustrated. You don't have to apologize for anything. When in here you can do anything, it doesn't come out here. It only jumps out here when it's not allowed in here because energy goes, well, I can't be here. I'm against the rules, so I'm going to jump out of that hole. It's got to go somewhere. I'm just going to leap out. I'm being exiled from here. I'm clearly inappropriate, so I'm just going to leap out of here. So if you don't want to act in that kind of a way externally, it has to be okay internally. Because what's arising inside of you is just energy working itself out. It's not what you believe. It's not what you think. You're not manufacturing it. You are healing and holding a space for the resolution of everything that arises. And you're watching things internally work out, while externally everything's going to work out perfectly. And spiritual alignment, which is the journey of cultivating faith, which occurs by loving ourselves more, not less, is the ability to arrive in alignment with faith way before all of your cash and prizes are given to you. I mean, you can open up your front door every day and go, no baby Jesus, no $1 billion check. This day is doomed. Or you can just rest in the greatest thrill ride in existence and say, everything's always working out. Everything's working out. Everything's working out perfectly. This is the deconstruction before something new resurrects. And when you are rooted in faith, do you want to know what the most important thing in every moment becomes in your spiritual journey? It's one of the most delicious words that I love. And it's a word when not used to judge yourself, but just used from a heart-centered position can be one of the most important words in existence. Conduct. When you're rooted in faith, what is more important is how are you conducting yourself with yourself and others? And not from a judgmental stance of, oh, look at what I did with that person, and let me put myself under the microscope and all that stuff. Conduct says I can think and feel and do anything I want. But conduct is I have the freedom to be any way I wish, and yet I choose to align all of my behavior as a living expression of my highest wisdom. Why? Because it feels the best in my body, and what feels the best to me has got to be a gift of transformation for others. Conduct. When you're rooted in faith, your conduct becomes immaculate, not with effort, just naturally. So instead of trying to force your conduct only to be rooted in fear, let's step into faith and let your immaculate conduct be revealed. When you're not rooted in faith, do you know what you're hypnotized by? The conduct of others. When you are rooted in faith, other people's conduct don't matter. Other people, if you're rooted in enough faith, other people's conduct doesn't even affect you, because their conduct is a reflection of where they are in their alignment, and your conduct is an expression of where you are in yours. And you become so aware that people's ill-fated conduct or unconscious behavior is just letting you know how deep they're hurting, even on a level they're not aware of. It couldn't be about you if you tried to make it. Spiritual realization doesn't make it not about you. Faith makes that the way. So trying to realize your true nature is not going to make you immune to other people. Faith does that. And the way faith makes you immortal and immune to the behavior of others is by letting people affect you. And when people affect you, the question becomes, how is this helping me? And it's helping me because when I'm affected by people, it shows me the part of myself emotionally, the part of my body where I feel the effect, that is next in line to be loved as never before. So people hurt us to show us where to love ourselves more. It can be a harsh road sometimes. But when it's time to love yourself, someone will jump out of the bushes and trigger something in you, and life says, send some love there. But if you're rooted in fear, your focus isn't on loving yourself. Oh, wow, that rude person just showed me where to love myself. Thank you very much. Wow, that was really unexpected. Holy crap, I didn't know they were in the bushes. Wow. How did they jump out so quickly and not cut themselves up? That was amazing. They're like a ninja. That's amazing. When you're in fear, you're not focused on your conduct of loving yourself more, not less. You're focused on the injustice of other people's behavior. Why are they being this way to me? How come they're treating me this way? Don't they know who I am? No, they don't. Newsflash, no one knows who you are. No one knows who you are at all. Other people don't even really know who they are. Only you know who you are. And no one knows that you but you. Which is why there's the frustration of like, I'm being misperceived by others. Everyone misperceives you. No one sees you but you. You want the greatest conversations, interactions with people? No one's going to see you the way you do. No one's going to get it right. The minute someone thinks they know what's true about you, they're in fantasy land. You only know what's true about you. They only know what's true about them. And we come together in these interactions of unity consciousness to go, hey, your truth, my truth, let's share some notes and see what life is like in different dimensions. Because we're all physical human bodies are manifestations of dimensions. We're all different dimensions. So we're all these roving reporters reporting from different parallel dimensions. And everything you say is what's going on in your world. We're all sharing the same space, but we're all in our own worlds. No one's in your world but you. Right? How come they don't see me? Because only you are in your world. But I want them to see me. Oh, they can't. They don't even see them. They can't see you. Only you see you. Here's how strange. And it's funny how I can help you find relief in really strange ways. Isn't it strangely relieving to go, no one will ever see or get me? Ever. Doesn't that just kind of like, we're all just reporting from our dimensions. What's going on? And the only truth is what you know about yourself. The minute you think you could look around the world and go, let me tell you what's true about the world, you're hallucinating. You're hallucinating. Because all of this projectional reality out here is just assisting you in bringing up what needs to be loved in yourself as you live out how perfectly everything works out. So the only thing you know is yourself. All you know is that everyone's going through a transformation. Most people don't even know it. And the sign that a soul is telling you, hey, look, I don't even know how deep my healing journey is. I need some more space to process this. The sign that people need space, so not to use you as a distraction from their journey, is they push you away. They're mean. Meanness says, healing in progress. Please come back later when I'm normal. How do you know someone's healing? Meanness shows up. Oh, I should give them space. Pardon me, I didn't know you were healing. I did not know. I'll come back later. You seem to have a lot on your plate. As per the meanness. As per the venom and judgment and scrunched face. I'll come back later. Love and light. Gotta throw that in there, right? Love and light. By the way, you ever had this happen? You ever have someone send you like this passive-aggressive, negative, judgmental message, then end it with a love and a light? You ever had that? Isn't that the best? Here's my problem with you. Here's what I need you to do to change, so to keep me thinking nice things about you. And if you don't, I'm going to hold you emotionally hostage. A love and light. It's a little psycho. It's a little mafia, you know? Here's what I'm going to need you to do. I'm going to need you to do this. Can you write me this check? You're going to give me this money or else bad things are going to happen. Namaste. If you don't, you're going to swim with the fishes. Love and light. Om Shanti Om. It's great, isn't it? It's great when we can talk about it. It's great. That's great. It's all well intended, but it's all funny. Everything works out. Only you exist in your world. Everyone else is just a visitor in your world, assisting you in your highest evolution. I mean, how would your life change if you were to be able to say, everyone I see is a visitor in my world, and they don't know that because I'm a visitor in their world, and we're both assisting each other into becoming better than we've ever been. We're all study partners. And sometimes we help each other by triggering each other, and sometimes we're just there to be someone to radiate a level of beauty that gives people something else to appreciate so that they become closer or next in line to being that object of affection. If you were to look at everything and going, how is all this going to help me? Most insightful question to ask. Because the core, and again, I love answering questions and doing all that stuff, and it's wonderful because it elicits a dialogue. But, bless you, if you were to think about all the problems that we use spirituality to solve, because spirituality is about exploration, not problem solving. That's a big thing in the heart-centered consciousness. Spirituality is about exploration and revelation, not about problem solving. And if you think of any problem you want to solve with spirituality, it is fundamentally trying to resolve a symptom based on a belief that the symbol of that symptom in your mind is proof that things aren't working out and that things can't work out until we extinguish that, which overlooks the question, how is that thing helping you? And what an ego says is, well, it's not helping me because I'm inconvenienced. It's not being the way I want it to be. And that's that. And then the question becomes, how is being inconvenienced helping you? Inconvenience is how life makes you more flexible when you're not aware of how flexible intends for you to be. So you may be flexible to a point and life says, we've got a broader range for you. And you go, well, I don't know how much more flexible I can be. Well, bring in the inconvenience. Here we go, ladies and gentlemen. Inconvenience. One inconvenience after another. To the point where you step back and you go, my God, this is so impressive. It's like the entire world is conspiring to inconvenience me on a regular basis. This is great. Look how good it's working. Right? You ever try to back up out of a parking spot and then, that car passes, you got to stop. Then you try to back up against someone else. Like, what the hell's going on? I came to a store, I parked in a space, now I'm backing up in the middle of a parade? What is going on? Holy God. It's awesome. Everything's trying to help you. Everything always works out. Do you feel the relief in that? Because once you feel the relaxation of faith, then we can start spiritually exploring. And the reason I'm offering you this teaching tonight is because a lot of us are going to be coming to the immersion the one day tomorrow. And so if we can find faith tonight, that means we can use our time wisely tomorrow to explore. See, that's the method behind my madness, which I don't know ahead of time. I'm just kind of telling you as I tell myself out loud. So you're all in my mind listening to me think out loud right now. Everything always works out. Here's a good one. Everything happens for a reason, but never the reasons you imagine. So it does happen for a reason, but you'll never know the reason. Doesn't that just make it easier? You'll never know the reason. Because all the ones you come up with are against you. This isn't happening in my life. Why? Well, probably because when I was 7 years old, I stole my sister's Halloween candy, and life has been silently waiting and conspiring, and go, hey, angels, you know what we're going to do to them? Remember they stole the candy? Yeah, it was terrible. We're going to wait till he's like 25, and he finds that person he's attracted to, and we're going to make them not interested. That's what we're going to do. Again, it's not mafia-like, you know? Everything always works out. All the reasons you have for why things work out are superstitious and circumstantial. It's, if I do this, this will happen. This happened, I didn't like it, so let me imagine all of the bad reasons to make a connection to things that don't belong together. That's what we call a correlation. It's a lovely word that has no reality. Here's a funny thing. When you understand that a correlation is imagination at play, a correlation is, let's take an effect. And let's say we're going to trace it back to a root cause. The root and the effect have no relationship whatsoever. But we are going to use this fantasy machine to make up a connection. This happened in my life. I trace it back to something in my past that didn't feel so good because this didn't feel good, this didn't feel good. It must go together. No, it doesn't. No, it doesn't. You want to know the sign from a universal perspective. You want to know the sign that you have successfully cleared something from your past that doesn't require you to dig it up anymore? The confirmation that you have healed something and you don't have to revisit it is the moment you survived it. All you have to do is survive things. The moment it's over, the moment it's in the past, done, complete. And because we don't know that, we create correlations. We go, oh, I don't know why this is happening. Maybe it's because of all this stuff. No. Nothing that happens to you now has anything to do with the past. In fact, I'll say the only thing the past has to do with anything is that the past has been a building block of experiences to create a foundation for you to be able to handle the celebration of everything working out. But nothing in your past is the reason for why things are right now. Nothing. And I'm not saying don't look in your past. Look as much as you want. There's no reality there. Why shouldn't you look if there's no reality? If there's no reality, have at it. It's not wrong. It's just not going to help you find faith. What if I said this to you? You are the reason for all of your blessings, and you have never been the cause of your pain. That's how deep this goes. You're not the cause of your pain. You are the reason for every blessing. Your pain is a learning curve. Pain is what happens when you dream against yourself. Beauty is what happens when you dream with yourself. So welcome to the most glorious dream in existence. Please don't use it against yourself. Don't dream against you. Dream for you. Here's a funny question. If you could have every answer in existence, what is real? What is truth? Who's aware? any question, if you could have the answer to the deepest question in existence, let me ask you a very bold question. If you could have any answer in existence, what the hell would you do with it? Look, I'll give you the answer to anything. There you go. Now what? Well, I just wanted to know. Why? Why did you want to know? Because I just wanted to know. Now what are you going to do with it? I don't know. Might just walk around and hold it. I don't know. What the hell would you do with the answer? You know what you do? Is it would give you permission to have the exact amount of faith that you can cultivate right now. So if having the answer would give you the faith, let's take the biggest thrill ride and say, let's find that faith without the answer coming first. You don't need an answer to find faith. You know what you need in order to find faith? Love for yourself. Loving the one who wants the answer. Loving the ones that wants to see how things are going to work out before you jump into the parade. Loving the one that says, yes, inconvenience is helping me evolve, and still spends all of your time anticipating and avoiding it. Love that one. Love the one that wishes they had the time to observe the beauty in others, but is too busy watching themselves like a hawk. Not giving you credit for all the good things you do, just waiting for the next mistake to jump all over you. Love that one. Self-love cultivates faith. Faith is the melody of everything always works out. Faith is the harmony that everything is here to help me, whether I am inconvenienced or willing or anything in between. You think acceptance makes things sting less? It doesn't. Do you want to know what makes things sting less? Faith. Acceptance is an internal gymnastics routine where you have a conversation with yourself about what you think other people are doing to you. Faith is the bold ability to step out of your comfort zone, look someone in the eyes, and whether you say it silently or out loud, in the aftermath of their judgment or unsavory behavior, faith would say, "Thank you for helping me." You ever respond to anyone who treats you poorly with the statement, "Thank you for helping me"? Watch the energy shift. I've done it. It's incredible. And it's not to put them in a place of remorse. When you're rooted in faith, you don't need people's apologies. When you're in faith, other people's apologies are their process. You're a part of their therapy session. I mean that seriously. Them apologizing to you is you holding space for their coming to terms with themselves. When you're rooted in faith, you boldly step into the position of, "Thank you for helping me." I remember once I said that to someone, and the aftermath of them being not so nice to me, I said, "Thank you for helping me." And they said kind of sarcastically, "I didn't know I was helping you." I said, "That's how masterful you are." You have such great assistance to the planet, not even you are aware of your generosity. Even if you walked around the world that you live in where only you are there and everyone else is just a visitor helping you, and you silently said to every person that passed you by, the mantra is, thank you for helping me. Do you want to know what would happen? You would literally transform the energy of all your relationships and everyone would start treating you differently. Do you know why people don't seem to treat you the way you want them to? Because you don't know they're here to help you. They don't know they're here to help you. Only you know that, because only you exist in your world. They don't need to know they're helping you. Only you need to know it. So whether you say it silently or out loud, thank you for helping me. I said that once having a conversation with a homeless gentleman who says, can I have some money for something to eat? And I played the reach in my pocket game. I don't know if you've ever played this game. But the game is, if someone asks me for money, I reach in my pocket, and if money comes out, they win. So they said, can I have money for a meal? And I said, let me see. Reached into my pocket. Out came a $10 bill. Apparently, this is meant for you. And they said, thank you. And I said, thank you for helping me. He looked at me and he says, how am I helping you? I said, you are helping remind me how abundant I am. All of this is real. Every moment is real. That's what enlightenment will teach you. You will have openings where it will seem like you're in a dream and things don't seem real. That's partial awakening. Full awakening, return back to the world where the silence you feel in your alone time is the same autonomy you experience in a room full of people. Everything is real. People are really hurting. People are really starving. People are really everything. Don't pretend they're not, because they are. And do you want to know what you can do energetically to bring forth, because a lot of times what happens is we get paralyzed by our sensitivity and we say, if I can't do everything to help everyone in a split second, I just want to crawl and hide because I can't deal with how much help people need and I can't do anything about it, right? You can do something about it right now. Energetically, you can anchor the energy that brings forth the consciousness and resources that blesses this entire planet and transforms it for all who are here. All you have to do is every person you pass by or you talk to, somewhere in the conversation, whether out loud or silently, you say, thank you for helping me. And then all the gifts of your consciousness are planted in their field to blossom a greater harvest for their journey ahead. This is also very real. And we are way past the point of trying to wake up so it doesn't feel real anymore. That ain't gonna happen. Never has and never will. We're not trying to escape the dream. We are going through the blossoming process of becoming real. We become real. And what helps you become real, cultivate the faith to love yourself as the world and to love the world as yourself. To open up to the melody of the heavens, that everything always works out, that everything is here to help you, are the simple words, thank you for helping me. I said those words to someone in my life who on an emotional, psychological level was very abusive to me in my earlier years. Not a part of my family, just someone in my life that was very abusive. And I saw them years later and I said, thank you for helping me. And they were almost so filled with guilt. And I didn't even reference the past, but they knew. You could feel like they didn't know what to do with it. And they said, I don't understand that. How did I help you? I said, thank you for helping me to remember what I'm strong enough to survive. So take your deepest pain, your greatest atrocity, that I am here to help you resolve, because if I was there the moment it happened, it wouldn't have happened, but I can't go back in time with you. I would do anything to spare every one of you and defend all of your honor if I was there. But I'm here with you to resolve it on this level. Take your greatest pain, your deepest atrocity, whatever abuse or victimhood that you incurred. We're not going to justify it. We're not going to explain it. I want you to be aware of what you were strong enough to survive. It did not destroy you. It only took from you what lightens your load for the journey ahead. Look what you were strong enough to survive. And as unconscionable as it would ever sound to imagine someone in your mind, take the one person who hurt you the most. And I'm only saying this to help you. And if you would not overthink this, but envisioning the person that hurt you the most, and if you dared to just say in your mind to the image of them, thank you for helping me, just feel what happens. We want to heal, transform, and awaken, and manifest heaven on earth. This is the crash course of angelic training. That's the threshold. Who is the darkest character? Visualize them. Thank you for helping me. Thank you for showing me who I was never meant to become. Thank you for pointing me in a direction and going into a path that guaranteed my resolution, even if at the time it was the most insufferable torture and pain I did not understand, that no one understands and will ever understand. We do not understand abuse. We resolve it in a way your mind won't understand, but I can feel how all of you in this room are listening with the ears of your heart, and you're feeling the truth of what I'm saying. Something in you knows what I'm saying, and knows how bold and courageous of a step it is to dare to take your greatest enemy, adversary, and worst pain, and dare to even say to it, thank you for helping me. Even if you said, I don't know how you're helping me, but thank you for helping me. One of the boldest things you'll ever do. It's either that or endless symptoms for spiritual paths to cleanse and clear out of your field until more show up. So it's either endless spiritual work and gymnastics, or it's thank you for helping me. Those are the two roads. One leads to inferiority, one leads to liberation. Someone once asked me, what's the craziest thing you've ever said to someone? My answer, thank you for helping me. It's literally the craziest thing I've ever, because in the context of of who I've said it to, it can sound insane to people. The people who have hurt you the most would never know how they've helped you. And once you know that on some level, every pain has helped me, And it's not being said to minimize the damage and the hurt of it. I did not know what I was capable of surviving. And for some of us who's living a life where it's like one shitstorm after another, right? Life is trying to prove how immortal you are. It destroys and you come back. It destroys and you come back until you claim your immortality. And the mantra, the secret password to claiming the power of your immortality, thank you for helping me. Thank you. You ever utter the words thank you in response to someone's rudeness? It's the single greatest way to shift the energy. You go to pet someone's dog and, oh, that's my object. You can't touch my object without talking to me. Right? You ever had that experience? Or someone projects their own defensiveness onto an animal, their own territorial nature. Oh, he doesn't like being pet. Really? I don't think you like being pet. That's what I think. Really? You speak dog? Really? You got the Rosetta Stone at home? You learned how to speak dog? Really? Dog doesn't like to be pet? Really? He doesn't like to be pet. Thank you for helping me. Thank you. Thank you for helping me. I thought he wanted to be pet. I did not know he didn't want to be pet. Thank you for translating. I would have gone in for the pet and something might have happened to my hand. You've saved me. You're my hero now. You're my hero. You're my hero. If you're ever in like a situation, in the social situation, and people are like socially just being inconsiderate or whatever, and they say something that doesn't really feel good, thank you for helping me. You're my hero now. That's hilarious what happens. Because people who are mean aren't prepared to be seen as heroic. Thank you for helping me. You're my hero now. Oh. Yeah, exactly. They don't know what to do. And when you utter the words, thank you for helping me, you're helping other people. Because you're waking people up. You want to wake up the world? There's the words to use. Thank you for helping me. Thank you. Even if you say it to someone who has hurt you and you're not quite sure how they've helped you yet. And the person says, how am I helping you? I'm not sure yet. I don't know. Right? The jury is still in deliberation on that point. But I can tell you, you've helped me. So thank you in advance. If you have any idea how you've helped me, I'd love to know about it. I'm not sure how you've helped me. I just know that you have helped me. So thank you. Do you feel the power in that? It's powerful. Because there's no point in using spirituality to hide from your everyday life when the only access to transcendent consciousness is by resolving and finding harmony on a personal level. Being enlightened in private and contracted in public doesn't cut it anymore. Only to blame the unconsciousness of the planet for getting in your way. A real enlightened master just walks amongst the earth openly, heart wide open, with the melody of thank you for helping me blaring out of the speakers of your heart. Even if you walk into a public setting, you walk into a market or a store, before anything even happens, before any calamity happens, you walk in the door of a store, before anything has the chance to inconvenience you, just think in your mind, thank you for helping me. I am here to help you as well. Game on. Less adversity will happen to you if you do that. It's very funny how that happens. You wake up in the morning, thank you for helping me, world. I am here to help you as well. We will do this together. As another way of saying this, one of the funniest ways to start your day, you know what the funniest mantra is? Hello, world, you're welcome. That's a funny one. It's a nice boost of confidence. Hello, world, you're welcome. And thank you for helping me as well. Because in reality, the truth is, you're not unconscious. You're not separate from source. You're not any of the things you think you are. What you are is energetically sensitive, not knowing how to use your abilities to help you instead of hinder you. And so you are liberated, autonomous, gorgeous expressions of divinity with unhealthy doses of insecurity to overcome. The evolution of our species is opening the heart of the most powerful and yet insecure side of the universe. We're so powerful and free, we have the power and ability to doubt ourselves as deeply as we desire. And what frees you of that is thank you for helping me. It's that act of gratitude that aligns you with the faith, that reminds you that everything always works out, everything's here to help you, that allows your conduct to be what you bring forth for the world, and to love yourself so deeply in response to anything that you become completely immune to the conduct of others who are only showing you how much space they need. And when someone lashes out and says, I need a lot of space and not even I know it, thank you for helping me. And if people's behavior still affects you, which it most likely will, that shows us where to send love next. We are the most courageous beings in existence because we are willing to do what not a lot of beings in other dimensions do, and that's feel. It's the greatest gift you've been given, is the ability to feel. I'm just here to help you make peace with it, so you can see it as a gift, not a liability. Because when you feel, the entire universe depicted as one individual transforms. When you cry, an entire planet finds resolution. When you laugh, new dimensions explode into existence. When you breathe, new harvests are created for those that are in need of nourishment. When you blink, new worlds and civilizations come to life, just to remember the truth of their being. And wherever you go, every step you take, this world is sacred ground, for it is you who walks upon it. I not only walk with you, I walk as you. And perhaps as we become rooted in faith, as the thank you for helping me cleanses you of all misunderstandings, you will no longer see the world as a reflection of what's unresolved in you. You will remember that the world and all the beings you see are all the past incarnations you've already been. That's the mirror. What you see is not what is still unconscious in you. What you see is who you've already been. And you are bringing the new to all of what is the endless fields of the past. So all the previous chapters, versions of this character can resonate and harmonize with the new energy, and the past and the present can dissolve into the autonomy of your long-awaited destiny. Who you see, you've already been. And who you are, the world has never known, which is why you've come to bless it with your presence and beauty. And in order to do that, all that is required, whether verbally or silently, thank you for helping me. And let your true courage and strength be demonstrated through the grace of an open heart. That is the way of the new spiritual paradigm. And for all of us Buddhas that are metaphorically under the Bodhi tree, your objective is not to be silent under the Bodhi tree necessarily, or trying to be so still that the ookies and spookies that you are trying to exterminate from your reality will find somewhere else to go. You've seen the depictions of the Buddha sitting under the Bodhi tree, and you see the manifestations of the demons or the whatever around it, trying to tantalize the Buddha and whatever. I'll give you a different way of looking at it. Don't think of the demons as what's tantalizing the Buddha out of its enlightened state, because then you're thinking you're supposed to be in something called consciousness. Like something is trying to tantalize you out of your consciousness. That wouldn't mean something's here to help you. So what if the depiction of the Buddha's under the Bodhi tree just sitting and being one with life, and all the ookies and spookies that manifest are just the history of that being's judgments against the divine, and all that shows up are all the things that you think are less than or other than the divine, and they keep showing up until you give it the respect of divinity, whether it looks or acts like that. And so as something arises in the presence of a Buddha, the Buddha, silently or verbally, but in the depiction would do it silently, and it would arise and would say, thank you for helping me. And then it would disappear, and the next yucky would arise. Thank you for helping me. And then a ghost. Ooh. Thank you for helping me. That's enlightenment. Enlightenment is not what is real or unreal. Enlightenment is when you've been liberated from that conversation. Whether it's real or unreal to you, thank you for helping me. Besides, with enough practice, you'll see that the scariest things in existence only have about 5 seconds of terror to offer you, usually with one sound. And then if you just sit there and they go, I got nothing else. I had about 5 seconds of, "Ooh," it's like a ringtone. That's all they have is like 5 seconds of a terrifying ringtone. "Ooh." And then you sit there, thank you for helping me. And it goes, nothing more powerful than your own gratitude to leave something that's trying to terrorize you depressed that it couldn't scare you. Thank you for helping me. So when you're under your metaphorical Bodhi tree and thoughts bombarding, feelings, memories, manifestations of otherworldly nature, supernatural experiences, thank you for helping me to every single thing. Watch how quickly enlightenment dawns in you. You want a direct path? That's it. Thank you for helping me. And nothing will frighten you ever again. That's why I have been created the way I am, to help you on such a deep level. Why? Because in the aftermath of what I offer, so many of you naturally come up and say, thank you for helping me. And by you saying those words to me, you're one step closer to being the bearer who gives you those gifts. I only represent in your consciousness what you say to me. That brings you one step closer to giving yourself that exact same gift. What if the most popular thing you said to yourself was, thank you for helping me? It's very eye-opening. It's very heart-opening.